If you're struggling with feeling like you're not enough and just have confidence issues, especially at work, then it's your lucky day. You've clicked on the right video. Lack of confidence can impact your morale at work and it can actually result in poor performance. Worst case scenario, you lose your job, but that's like worst case scenario. Or you just end up being stuck in one level or one position because you're not going for more. In this video, I want to share with you about 6 or 7 practical ways, things you can start doing today to build up your confidence. And if this is your first time on this channel, hello, my name is Nicole Nyasha. I'm a certified professional recruiter based in Canada, and I share career and sometimes lifestyle content. Take criticism and feedback positively. It's surprising how many people take offense when they're corrected or when they're given like an opinion. Stop doing that. If people can't tell you the truth because of your reaction, you just come off as an insecure person who's hiding behind some sort of mask. Don't be the person that people have to walk on eggshells around because they're scared of making you upset. They don't want to hurt your feelings, and deal with how defensive you become. Always view feedback or correction, whatever you want to call it, as an improvement opportunity for you to do better. Change your language. The way you talk is really important if you're trying to become more confident. A lot of people try and be too polite. I'm not saying be rude, but you do need to have a little bit more authority when you're speaking. If you're in a meeting, instead of saying something like, "Sorry, can I add something?" and your voice is even like a bit shaky, try and say something along the lines of, "Have we considered this approach? I'd like to take a look at it from this angle. I'd like to share a different perspective on this. I agree with that point, and I think we should also consider this. Before we move on, I'd like to add that." Just remove certain words and phrases from your vocabulary. This one is really hard to do, but try and remove those phrases like "I guess," "I feel," and instead of things like "Can I have 5 minutes of your time?" try and say something like, "I need to speak to you about this. When is a good time?" My speaking skills used to be really bad. English is not my first language, but in fact, I'm still learning and I'm still trying to make an effort to be better. But I had to put in a lot of work to be where I am today. When I improved my vocabulary and I improved the way I speak, it made me a whole lot confident to speak and present in front of people across levels in my organization. If you're finding this video useful so far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That just helps YouTube know that it's good content and they should share it with more people. Moving on to confidence building, I think your mannerisms are really important as well. You need to stop putting people on pedestals that they are not. Don't assume that people are better than you because they have a higher job title, better job level, because they're an executive. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. We might have different skin colors, different skin tones, but we have the same color of blood. Yes, we should still be respectful and give honor when it is due, but stop looking at people like they're little gods because they have a director or a VP as a prefix before their title. I used to be super afraid to speak to executives, but everything changed for me when I started viewing people like they're just people instead of like, "Oh, I'm speaking to the senior VP," or "I'm speaking to the head of this division." It just went away. Nerves are still a normal part of, communication if you have a big presentation, but I'm referring to having an unhealthy level of anxiety when you're in front of certain people. I can talk to my CEO, I can talk to any executive in my company without fear because I view them not as a CEO or as a senior VP, but I view them as a person. And remember that you do not have a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Also pay attention to your general mannerisms when you're at work or when you're on calls. When someone is walking towards you, let's say in a hallway, do you turn to the side, just shrink and avoid eye contact? Or do you stand up tall, walk past them and smile? When you walk into a room, do you walk in, look around, make eye contact, greet people, and just make people be comfortable around you? That's really important. Your body language is also important. Instead of keeping your hands underneath your desk and sitting like this, sit up straight, keep your hands on the table, and just loosen up. Be really good at your job, and if no one comes and tells you that you're doing horrible job or you need to approve, then have it in your mind that you're doing great. At the end of the day, it's your manager, your director, whoever you report to's job to tell you if you're screwing up. It's not your job to have self-limiting beliefs about yourself and then just hinder your performance because you're constantly looking over your shoulder and thinking you're not doing a good job. Deliver quality work, your work is attached to your name, and do a good job. If you're creating a PowerPoint slide, spend those extra few minutes to make sure it's good and it's not average. If you have to work on a report, do a clean and proper job. When your work is outstanding, it gives you confidence because you know you did that. But if you're constantly being asked to redo, repeat, that can really reduce your morale. Don't take everything personal. And I mean this in the kindest way possible. Stop being obsessed with yourself. It's actually a form of pride. Oh, how dare she speak to me like that? Or how dare she send me that? How dare she look at me or stare me up and down? Girl, guy, no one cares about you like that. It's not that deep. And why can't they look at you like that? Who do you think you are? The beauty of our workplaces is how diverse we all are, especially in Canada. You have people from all sorts of nations, different cultures. What you think is acceptable might be unacceptable to me. So just chill. You don't have to take everything so personal. That way you're not going to take offense when, people say some things to you or behave in a certain way, and your confidence is not going to diminish. A really important one is to dress well. Do you know that there have actually been studies conducted to prove that there's a direct correlation between your performance, your productivity, delivery in the workplace, and your life in general, and your dressing? So don't undermine the power of looking good. If you want to become more confident, start dressing well. I actually encourage you to envision the person that you want to become. Think about how they would show up and start tailoring your wardrobe and your style to that. You don't have to wait until you arrive or you've become that person to start dressing up as them. Dress that way whilst you're on the way. One thing about me, you might catch me looking random maybe at the grocery store running errands, but never at work. In the past, I've had the reputation of being that girl who does the most when it comes to dressing, and I'm fine with that. It makes me feel confident when I look good because I know I look good. Even when you're working from home, instead of just like wearing the most random t-shirt, put on a more elevated top or a blouse. You don't have to like do the most and put on a full-blown outfit, but just like put some effort to look decent. Put on some dainty jewelry, earrings, brush your hair. It's going to help you be more confident. Stop pressuring yourself. You don't have to know everything. One of the best pieces of advice I've received from a former boss was, Nicole, it's really okay to say, I don't know, I'll get back to you. Sometimes we just put this unnecessary pressure on ourselves to know everything. You don't need to have the answer to every question in that moment. We're not superhumans. I have a recruiting background, and I can tell you that even when companies are hiring, they don't expect you to know 100%. So instead of pressuring yourself to know everything, train yourself to be a curious person who never stops learning and wants to get answers. If you don't put that pressure on yourself, when somebody asks you for something and you don't know it, you'll feel okay and comfortable saying, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'll check and get back to you. If you put pressure on yourself, when somebody asks you something that you don't know, you're going to feel like you're less than. It's going to demoralize you and take away your confidence. And that's how you're going to appear more confident at work. I think some of these even apply in all situations, at church, in your everyday life. I hope you can pick one or two of these points and really become a more confident version of yourself this year. Let me know which ones in the comments you're going to start paying attention to. Subscribe to this channel for more career and sometimes lifestyle content, and I will see you in the next video.